Hey, yo, it's the Wave Report, baby.
What's going on, man? It's your boy Joe Waters, a.k.a.
Every time. And we missing a member. He'll be here shortly. Hi, as usual. We doing something special for y'all today.
Nah, that's a fact.
We're doing something special.
Look,
We got
man.
a lot of good stuff coming up. Joel, what we got coming up?
For the first and foremost, we want to thank all y'all for rocking with us. We've almost been at this for a year now, so we got a year celebration coming up soon.
Correct.
But very even sooner, we got our next roundtable. Got a Labor Day roundtable coming up for y'all. In addition to that, we got. We got a lot more lives coming.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to start adding some new elements to the Wave Report. Y'all about to start getting some individual waves from us. Y'all about to start getting some more vlogs. We appreciate our Facebook subscribers, so it's about to start about to start going live for y'all a lot more. In addition to that, our YouTube viewership, which we appreciate. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, please subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel.
We're going to be actually adding some things to our YouTube viewership very soon. Yeah, man, we're just adding some different elements to the Wave Report. We got to keep it wavy in every area, right?
Yeah.
So, this dude feels like somebody's going to win the election, so we might need him to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, I talk about it.
People want to ride on me for being a sports football fan with different teams. I might even document that. You know what I mean? I like battle rap. I might even start documenting that. So we got a couple things coming. And right. Jonah high all the time. So maybe he might start exploring the lifestyle of the high and the famous. You never know. So the Wave Report, we're about to start adding a lot more content. I just freestyled all of those ideas. But we might start adding a lot more to what we do. So we appreciate you. Thank you for following the Wave. And tell people about it. Share the message. Get the message out there. Say,
we're talking about hoes this morning. We're talking about righteous women this morning.
On a Sunday?
We're talking about the women who stand in the paint.
All right.
And the man is going through it. We're talking about bad relationship advice. Ooh. This is church. This is the Wave Reports episode of church this morning for y'all. If y'all have any questions, y'all drop them in the comments below. Of course, we will answer it in our own unique way that you love. So we doing it all this morning.
Everything.
First, we want to talk about bad relationship advice.
Okay.
What's some of the worst relationship advice you've heard given or that was given to you?
Oh my gosh, it's cheaper to keep her.
What does that even really mean?
Somebody was trying to tell me that you shouldn't exit a relationship because you would end up paying more money if you weren't together. Had nothing to do with the fact if I love the person or not. Nothing to do with the fact that, maybe we weren't making it work. Nothing to do with, it just wasn't working out. It was just cheaper to keep her. And I was told my man had considered that for years upon years, but his money wasn't in the place to make that decision. Trash. Like
it's not good advice, right?
That's not good advice. It's cheaper to keep her is terrible advice. Don't tell me it's cheaper to keep her. I'm not with that. Let's see. What's some bad relationship advice I got? What's some of the worst ones you got? Some of the worst advice you got?
Advice I got?
Ever. Give me top 3 worst relationship advice you ever got.
I got some bad advice. One of the worst pieces of advice that I ever got was to hide some money in case something goes wrong. Put some money away in case something goes wrong. You never know. I had this dude, man, I was working with last year. He was my manager at Home Depot. I ain't gonna say his name, but he is like the store manager. And I was doing my review one day, and he was talking about like the 401k that Home Depot has and how it match whatever you put in and all that stuff, right?
Gotcha.
And he was like, got a lot of money in mine. And he's only like 27. And I was like, oh yeah? He was like, yeah, you got 2 kids and a wife. I was like, oh, your wife know? He was like, hell no. I was like, why not? He was like, man, you never know. I love her, but you never know. I'm like, nigga.
Wow.
Hey, to each his own, but that's not something I'm into. Okay. I'm all in. If something goes wrong or if I do something wrong that causes the dissolution of our marriage, I'll give my wife half of what we have. I'll give her more than half. I'll start over because that's what a man's supposed to do.
Right.
But some niggas don't think like that, and I respect that. You know what I mean?
Because
they put money. You be hiding money.
Yeah.
Do you hide money?
Do I? No, not even close.
I don't even think I can.
The reason why I don't is if you have a partner, you're supposed to build with that partner.
Right.
How do you build a legacy and hide the majority of what the legacy is supposed to be? You feel me? Like, I honestly think that don't be in a relationship, bro. Like, if really that's your goal, is I need to hide things from him or this, that, and the other, don't be in a relationship. Now, granted, you got to put things away for like a rainy day. There's nothing wrong with having a savings.
Correct.
But at the same time, you got a whole nother life. You're ready for a whole nother. You could exit your relationship today and start a whole new life.
True.
4 blocks down the street, and you ain't really got to worry about anything. Then I wouldn't say plan for it. Like, if you're planning on that, maybe you're not in the best position in your relationship. You shouldn't be planning on, all right, if I exit, you know what I mean, I'm ready. You know what I mean, we gonna get it in. Yeah. You know what I mean? I got holes ready, lined up. You shouldn't be planning for that. Some dudes plan for it. Some dudes already. It's cool to be with a woman and having in the back of your mind, man, what if this don't work out? Yeah. But
you're not fully in if you're doing it, right?
You shouldn't be planning for it though, bro. Like, no, I mean, see, we're married, so it's a little bit deeper for us. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if you dating somebody, and maybe you feel you get an inkling that maybe it ain't working out, and you want to do something different, I get that. But if you married and you're like, yo, nah, we just want to do something different, but we probably a year away from that, so when we start planning for that, nah, you trash. You 100% trash, my guy. You shouldn't be doing that. But that's how side chicks come along. I mean, that's how side chicks come along, because you're planning, you're mentally already checked out, so you finding something different, but you too much of a sucker to just be like, I don't want to be here. Okay. You so much of a sucker. You so much of a sucker. You scared to just be like, babe, this ain't working out. I gotta go. I gotta do something different. Nah, preach. You're not even honest with yourself. Trash nigga. It's a problem with y'all. Y'all can't admit when you're wrong. You can't admit when it ain't working. You too trash to this relationship ain't working, but the hair good. This relationship ain't working, but it's a comfortable space. We live together. I ain't trying to get into it. Man, shut up. You trash. You trash. Don't be in a relationship, man.
You wanna know some more bad advice I've heard? Happy wife, happy life. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Now, I understand the intent of what the person's saying. Okay. You want to make the other person happy as possible. But not at the expense of your own happiness altogether.
See, for me, I was of the belief happy wife, happy life for a long time until y'all broke that down. Okay. I could never be happy at the expense of my own happiness. Right. That's a fact. Now, am I going to have value in making my wife happy? Yes. Yeah. Do I recognize that we argue less, maybe have a little bit less problems when she's happy? Yes. Happy wife, happy life for me in that regard. The extent of, yo, I don't want to argue, I don't want to have no problems with you, that's cool. But the extent of, I'm so sad I want to kill myself. But she's super happy. Wow. I ain't with it. The way y'all broke it down, like, I gotta still be me. I gotta still be an individual. Right. People sacrifice who they are as a person
all the time
just to be with somebody.
Yeah,
that's trash.
Yeah, man, and I agree.
Happy holidays the other way too. Yeah. Dude, women sacrifice a lot so their man can be happy.
That's true. I see that a lot as well. Some more bad advice. See, we're on the roll today. Some more bad advice, and it's not 100% bad advice. But I don't think it's functional for people in healthy relationships. When people say if you're married that you have to do everything together as a couple. Like, you can't have your own life. Like, you can't do, like you do a bunch of stuff on the side. Right. Jonah does a bunch of stuff on the side. I do my own thing. So he's like, well, if you travel out of state, like, you gotta go with your wife. That's true. If y'all go somewhere, you have to be with your wife. Or if you It's not like bad advice as far as the other stuff we've mentioned, but I don't think it's functional because even though you're married, you still have your own life and your own personal goals and ambitions and stuff like that. And once again, people sacrifice those to make the other person happy, which ain't the best thing in the world. So if you be like, hey, I gotta go perform here. Lala's not like this.
No.
But hypothetically speaking, someone would be like, well, can I go with you? Who's going to be there? And like, instead of just trusting that you're going to go handle your business and come back home, they don't feel clingy. Like, I don't have to be with you every waking moment.
Right. For me, what trust is, if the trust is there, bro, you know, it makes life easy. But my lady is never the type of person who has to be, I got to be up under the wing at every moment. Like, I'm going to Miami at the end of this month or August, depending upon when you're watching this episode. And not once has my lady been like, all right, what's going on? Can I go? Yeah. I just came back from California on business. My lady didn't hit me up or anything like that. Like, we have ground rules. We talk about it. We set establishments on things. But communication is key. If you have the appropriate communication, you're good.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, my lady at the same time knows that in the drop of a dime, if I have the time to do it, you know, if I work up to it and I got the money for it, I'm gonna take her on the trip, even if it's a weekend type of thing. So she gets the same priority for me to put back into her. But she know when I'm about business and I'm on my grind, I'm a grind. So
as you should.
Yeah. I appreciate women who allow their spouses to get their grind on. I appreciate women who allow their spouses to hustle, so that way they can build a legacy and build a foundation for them, and then vice versa. There's dudes out here who, I know a dude right now, I think he trash, but his lady got 6 kids, and he's staying home. He's a stay-at-home dad.
Hold on, man.
I'm not even lying. I really like this is.
What's up, Melinda?
This is a real fact. Like
Why does he stay? What's his reason?
It's cheaper for the kids.
Is it really in the long run though?
I would say in the long run, no, because they're gonna eventually go to school. But as we speak right now, his lady, I'm not. I really wish I was making this up. No, I'm not. His lady literally works full time. And he's a stay-at-home.
Does she make enough for the household?
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
But I see dude walk around the mall it's just like an aimless life, bro. Like you just playing. Like even if you work it, even if you don't have to have a job and you just stay at home, create something.
Right.
Like you can play video games and get paid off it.
That's true.
My man does nothing.
Niggas are rich off that.
He just does nothing, bro. You can vlog if you have the luxury to stay at home, bro. Do you know what I would do if I didn't have to work a full-time job?
You'd be rich.
Me?
You'd be rich.
Do you know what I would do if I didn't have to work a full-time job?
You'd be rich.
I balance 5 to 6 jobs already. But if I didn't have to work, if I didn't have to get 40 to 45 hours of my week out, at one, man.
That's wild.
My man really stays at home. And that's it. That's all he does.
See, that gets me to another question. Since we're talking about relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're in a long-term relationship, if you're married, how do you know when you should get out of the relationship? It's different for every person, but what are some tell-all signs, some common signs when you know, I'm trying to make this work, but this is not going to work? We're gonna talk today. This church, baby.
It can't be toxic. When a relationship becomes toxic,
what do you mean?
If every conversation you have with somebody, literally your heart not even your heart, but like you just get that feeling of like if you start, I hate you. Like I ain't talking about baby boy Yvette. I hate you, Jody. Like she didn't really hate the nigga. Like she really loved him. But like if you really start feeling like I would murder this month. That's when you really should probably get out.
Yeah, you gotta leave.
Like, murder's gonna be on your mind. I've been told, my grandmother even said that.
Yeah.
My grandfather, she wanted to kill this nigga all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But you should never, 2 feelings should never happen in a relationship. You should never feel like you'd be at more peace by yourself.
That's deep.
And you should never feel like...
That's deep.
You should never feel like, one, that you be more at peace by yourself, and two, you should never feel like, I don't want to go home after work because I can't. Like, if I see this person, like, you should never want to avoid going home.
That is common right there. You see people at work, like, I ain't going home. Like, man, you don't like her that much? Why shouldn't be with her? You going somewhere else, though. I understand. Melinda said when you in it by yourself. Yes. Yep. Yes, definitely. When you're in it by yourself and the other person's not contributing, not just monetarily, they're not just contributing to the benefit of the relationship. Meme said when you don't feel peace around them. That's what, I think that's what Joe was alluded to. Yeah. It's toxic. It's crazy when you go home and it's like immediate chaos when you walk in the door.
Yeah. You know, you see, for some of us in the inner cities, we used to have mothers.
Inner city.
We used to have mothers that as soon as we got home from whether it was school, being outside, whatever it was, the second you walk in the house, boy, didn't I tell you to wash these dishes? Boy, didn't I tell you to do this? Boy, didn't I? Boy, didn't. There was a lot of boy didn't I. Your relationship shouldn't be the same way. And there's a lot of dudes out here, their relationship is that exact same way. Yeah. They get barked on immediately as soon as they walk in the house.
Yeah. Why do women, when they, like the guy you mentioned, I don't know who you are,
trash, man.
Well, why do women choose to stay in relationships like that? Is it like a hopeless situation? They think like, man, one day he's going to change.
As far as
being in a relationship with a dude when he's not really there, he's physically there, but he's not there.
Here's the biggest problem I've seen with relationships. One piece of good makes you overlook the 10 pieces of bad.
Go in there. It's church, baby. So if he got good dick.
Facts.
They're the woman to stay, even though everything else messed up.
Bro, Judas wasn't broke. People forget this. Judas had money. Judas was trying to get a little bit more money.
And he got it.
Just to get a little bit more money, he turned his back on what he knew was real. See, sometimes you turn your back on a real nigga. Turn your back on a real nigga. For that one little cash out. And it's the opposite way for relationships. Sometimes you will refuse to turn your back on a trash nigga or a trash female.
Oh yeah, that's real. That's real.
Just because of this little cash out that you can get. That cash out could be in the bedroom. That cash out could be comfort. That cash out, even if that person is trash, can just be the fact that y'all live together. Or here's
you want to start over?
Nope. Here's what I've heard before. Not about me. I just heard women say this. I have invested too much in you to see somebody else reap the benefits. What? My math teacher invested the learning of algebra. I ain't had her check in on me in years. Ever, to be honest. Why do you care? Everybody has to grow. Everybody has to grow. I don't care. If I lost you today and I don't want to be with you and you don't want to be with me, I don't care if somebody else get. I need to be at peace for myself.
That's real.
If us isn't working, then you have to have peace for yourself.
That's real.
And the problem is some of y'all want peace for yourself while it's still us. And your partner don't know that.
Go ahead then, Pastor. It's just church, baby. I like this.
Your partner has to know that you want peace by yourself. And when you make that decision, get out.
You gotta get out.
Get out.
You gotta get out.
Don't keep running the spoon around the teacup. Get out. Some of y'all are scared to get out. And the reason being is because you have that stability with that partner. Get out. But if you have, if there's, see, every relationship has to have fight. Well, sometimes that fight is with each other, but you can get past that. Now, if it's domestic and actual hands are being put on people, you can't. Get out. But some relationships have fight. In that fight, if you can push through it, if you and your partner can actually fight to stay together, that's a relationship worth keeping. But if you and your partner have no fight, You ever see a boxing match where the fighter just comes out, he just don't want to fight no more?
Yeah.
Roy Jones versus what's the boy that knocked him out? Tarver. The third fight. Watch the last 3 rounds of that fight. Roy Jones didn't want to. He just didn't want to get knocked out. Mm-hmm. He had 0 fight in him. He just didn't want to get knocked out. You can't be like that in your relationship. Just scared to engage. I don't want to mess up the legacy of what I can build here. So I'm gonna just duck around you. I'll have a look. How you doing, babe? How's everything going? How's your morning going? Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to engage with you so we can get deep into a conversation and potentially grow.
Okay.
Some of y'all too short in your relationship to even try to challenge it to grow.
Pastor Joe this morning, baby.
If you scared to push your relationship forward, why keep pushing your own personal space backwards?
Go ahead then, Joe. Talk to him, Joe. Talk to him.
I'm just asking. I'm curious. I'm willing to fight for mine. He's willing to fight for his.
Oh, all day.
I can honestly tell you, the man that's not here is willing to fight for his. But if you ain't got no fight in you, why are you even in the ring? Why are you here? If there's no fight in you, in what you share with your partner, whether y'all reached vows or not, why are you even here?
Correct. So Jamie says, is your fight different when you're married versus a dating relationship?
Yes.
What's up, Jamie?
What's going on? Yes. But I'll let you answer that one first.
Is your fight different when you're married versus a dating relationship? See, I think she might be alluding to, should it be different? And I think if you're dating somebody for a long period of time and you're really invested in them like you should as a grown, mature adult, some of y'all just be dating just to have somebody post on Instagram. This is church, though. You know what I mean? It's church. We're going to get to the root of the cause.
That's a fact.
You should, honestly, your fight should be the same. When you're married and you've been in a sustained, healthy marriage for a long time, I'm going to fight to the death. Now, most people who are dating, they won't fight to the death because they figure, I haven't been with this person long enough, as you mentioned, the investment, so I'm not going to really put in that pain like I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
But if you're married, the fight should be way different. Now, there are some people who are married, they don't fight at all, as you just mentioned. They get the fight knocked out of them. So they don't proceed to do anything that can help their relationship. But from my personal perspective, you definitely, if you're married, you should exhaust all possible remedies to right your marriage if it goes astray. That means counseling. That means sitting down and talking to your partner first and foremost. Y'all should be talking anyway.
Yes.
That should be hashing out your grievances with one another. If you have if you have a problem, I've seen this a lot. If you have a problem with the way that somebody does something, they don't handle finances right. You want to spend more quality time with them. You don't like their family member or their in-laws. These are things you should tell the person today. If you have problems, tell them today.
Yeah.
You shouldn't wait until the anniversary comes, or you shouldn't wait 4 months and then you explode and be like, well, I've been wanting to say this. That is a recipe for disaster.
That's a fact.
You should not do that. You should tell them today. I've been married. Me and Joe, YJ too. We've been down the sinkhole, baby, and back. I'm willing to do anything to save my marriage as long as the other person is willing to do the same.
Facts.
It can't just be me and it can't just be her. It has to be a mutual decision that we're going to fight to the death for our marriage. I'm not just going to give up on my marriage. This don't have nothing to do with the amount of money we spend on the ring, nothing to do with the wedding ceremony, nothing to do with us having stuff in our name, money. I love her. I'm going to go to the death to make sure that our marriage can be sustained in a healthy way. What you think?
I 100% agree. 100% agree. Listen. This is why I got terrible advice when being told it's cheaper to keep her. Because why am I keeping something I'm not willing to fight for? I want to share my life with somebody who values what I value. Now, even if that value is time, consistency, communication, if that's it, fine, I'm with it. Let's get it.
Right.
If my grind moves me, my grind is not. Everybody doesn't have the same grind that I have.
That's real.
But
I can attest to that.
But you know the biggest thing about that grind is it comes with built-in communication.
Okay.
I don't just get up and go get it and not say anything to my lady.
Right.
I didn't just leave my house this morning to come here to shoot the weight report and ain't even tell her about it.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with communication.
Yeah.
See, I was willing to fight to build that.
Mm-hmm.
I was willing to fight and be like, yo, listen, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
How can I make you comfortable? Because I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm about. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Whoop de whoop. There was a point where I was like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. I was willing to stop fighting for my relationship, and I did for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We both did.
I think we get to those points in our relationships where we feel like, I tell you, I felt like giving up before.
Yeah.
What kept you going? What reignited that flame?
Can I be honest?
Of course, it's weight report Sunday morning service.
What was out there wasn't better than what I had, and what was out there only proved to me that I could make the changes that I needed. The changes were needed to be made on my end, and communication was the reason why changes didn't happen on hers.
What's the difference between communication and effective communication? Because people just throw communication out there. So are they communicating effectively?
Here's an example of both.
Okay.
Babe, I think you're trash in the bedroom.
That's wild.
Say a man tells a woman that, or a woman tells a man that. That's communication.
Okay.
How about when you're in the bedroom? Hey babe, touch me here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey babe, I like it when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey babe, your leg here, that's fire. Effective communication shows. Effective communication is like is a roadmap. It gets you to where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Communication just simply says, it simply tells you what we're doing.
Right.
Hey, we're going to Disney today. All right, that's communication. Effective communication. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna get on I-4, and you're gonna go down to I-4, and then you're gonna take this exit. And once you get off on this, you see, there's a difference. There's a map here. Yeah. Effective communication doesn't just simply tell you what the purpose is. Mm-hmm. Effective communication details it, explains it. Now, a lot of times that happens in action. Some people are so scared of action.
Go ahead,
bro. In the hood, you know what used to happen in my neighborhood when I was younger?
What's that?
Some crazy dude would try to get into a fight. Be like, yo, I'm about that action, boss. I'm about that action, boss. See, the reason where that term came up is because a lot of people would just talk about it and they weren't ready to fight. They wanted to. I wanted to tell you. I wanted to make my claim clear. I needed you to know what I'm talking about. But they didn't have any desire to actually get the fisticuffs going.
Right. See that all the time. Still.
Some people are willing to say I do and don't want to put the actions behind the actual commitment that comes with it.
Right.
Some people are willing to say, babe, we go together. And don't actually want to put the commitment in beyond getting into the bedroom to keep going together.
Yeah.
A lot of times people just want to give you the words. They don't want to put the action behind it.
It ain't the same if they're on the line.
Listen, I'll take listen, we yell every day in my house. You know why? Because actions speak louder than words.
That's real. That's real, Joe. I got two questions. So Meme says, do you think that if you see your father treating your mother a certain way, does it make you treat your partner differently?
Yes. I'm a living example of that.
Go in, Joe. Yeah.
I didn't see my mother treated the greatest.
Me neither.
The men around my mother were trash. Point blank, period. I'm not trying to open up old wounds because I know who watches my show. But screw that. Them niggas was trash. Them niggas was trash. Can't stand it. However, you know what they did show me?
What?
The opposite way to treat a woman. I had a lot of women around me, honestly.
You can learn from fools too, huh?
So here's what I saw. I saw the trash niggas, and a lot of women were my friends. I had a lot of female friends. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was a hoe. But I had a lot of female friends. I politic with females, and females showed me the game on how to treat females. And seeing how my mother was treated and seeing how different that was than what I was told, I realized that certain women go for certain type of niggas.
Righteous.
Certain women go for the niggas that yell. Certain women go for the niggas that take your hands, put them on the shoulders, and try to hold you back.
Yeah.
certain niggas go for the women that argue more and more and more every day.
Mm-hmm.
Certain women like toxic niggas.
Yes.
Just keep it a bean.
Yes.
But there's also another type of woman who likes a man who can stand on his own word. Who can respect her space, but know he got to get what he got to get.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that there's a couple different type of niggas out here.
Yeah.
And I ain't trying to be the trash nigga that's got to put my hands on you.
Mm.
I ain't got to be the trash nigga that's got to actually lie to you in order to get to a certain place.
Mm.
That manipulation don't really work for me. So yeah, there's a couple type of people out here, but I learned that my father, and the men around my mother, that wasn't the type of person I wanted to be. I wanted to be somebody different, and it took me to meet a woman that would actually challenge that.
That's real.
You could see. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can say you about action, but if you don't require action, you just all talk. See, I can say I want the Wave Report to have an episode every week, every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't actually record and upload, it's not gonna happen.
That's real.
We run. Trust me, we run into issues
All the time.
Trust me.
All the time.
But to be doing this for almost a year consistently, no breaks, no time off, no weekends off, none of that.
And adding in other stuff like the round table, the quick takes, and all that stuff. It take a lot of effort, and you will run into a lot of issues.
We put in the pain.
Yeah.
So it's more than just words.
Even when we all not here.
That's a fact.
As you can see.
What do you think about that, Jonah?
As you can see, Melinda says, how do you keep individuality in a marriage? I lost myself when I was married, not wanting to lose myself ever again if I ever get married again. So I'll address this really quick. See, Melinda, that's a good question. I kind of know who you are, Melinda, because you're like my big sister. I think in the previous marriage, we run into this. You probably didn't quite know who you were fully and what you wanted to do. So it's easy to get lost when you don't have direction.
Say that again.
And then it's easy to get lost when you don't have direction. And then you have a man or a partner on the opposite end who's not directing you or helping you get to where you need to be. It can cause for a mess. Now that because I see you out here shining now. Now because you have a full awareness of what you want to do, your career, what you want to be, and you're not going to compromise your integrity, who you are, your personality for anything. It's easier. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it will be easier now when you meet someone. You can set the standard from the beginning. Yeah. Look, this is what I'm doing. I'm not sacrificing this, as Joe said. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. Right. You just tell the person that I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. How can you help me? How can we help each other get to the place where we need to be without me sacrificing who I am at heart and you sacrificing who you are? How can we help each other grow and still keep our individual goals in front of us? And that take a lot. That takes a lot. You know, I'm saying it easily. I'm just saying it easily, but it takes a lot. And it takes time, it takes patience, but it always takes work. Yeah. Because you will get thrown off track. You will get thrown off track. You'll get into these modes where you feel like you're just coasting. But set the standard from the beginning. As Joe just mentioned about effective communication, when you go on a date with somebody, whenever you decide to get to that space in your life, or if you're going on a few dates or you get in a relationship, let that nigga know, listen, who I am and what I'm doing, this will not change. Not for you, not for nobody. And that person has to respect that. And if they respect that and they go along with it, then I don't think you'll have an issue losing yourself. If anything, when you're in a long-term relationship, it's better, I'm telling you this, it's better to lose the other person rather than to lose your peace and your personality and who you are. Right. It's better that you sacrifice that person. Listen, if you want me to sacrifice who I am, we'll need to be together.
Facts.
You do that when you're young and you don't really know who you are. But once I realize my purpose, oh yeah, you can go. You out of here. You can go, because I can find somebody else who's more aligned with what I'm trying to do.
No, that's a fact.
Keep them coming. We do want all the smoke. Oh, Melinda, you know, it's always, you my big sister. You know how I just go.
Listen, one thing I learned somebody actually taught me this.
Mm-hmm.
Selfish people.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm asking a question, and I'm answering.
Go ahead.
How does a selfish person
Mm-hmm.
sustain a relationship?
They don't.
They do.
They can only do it for so long.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
A selfish person is never fully aware of what is in front of them.
Mm.
So a selfish person doesn't even look at the road.
Mm.
They're so focused on what they're doing. So focused on what's happening with them.
Hold on. I don't mean to interject. What about the Jedi mind trick? When you're doing your thing and you're fulfilling your purpose,
Okay.
and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing for your own personal life, and the other person, because they're being stagnant, and they tell you you're being selfish. Because you're chasing your dreams. I'm not chasing mine, but you're the selfish one. That's the trick.
Who's the leader in that house?
You tell me.
The leader in that house is the person that moves by action.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? On that end, I'm going to go get it, and you're mad at me because I'm going to go get it, and you feel like because of where you're at in your life that I'm being selfish. I'm being self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen to me, babe. You got another thing coming. If you think that I'm not trying to set an example for both of us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go
you
ahead.
got another thing coming if because of what you aren't doing.
Church.
That I'm going to accept the blame because of what I'm doing.
Uh-huh.
Do you think for a moment when it was good that Jeff Bezos, as he was building this is Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
but as he was building Amazon,
Yeah.
that his wife didn't have a complaint?
All the time.
Before any kind of scandal or anything such as, you don't think she had a complaint? Now, that man got up every day,
Mm-hmm.
he had a vision.
Yeah.
I'm going to realize that vision. We used to laugh at Amazon. You know who else we used to laugh at? Netflix.
All the time.
We used to, why would I pay money to get a DVD sent to me?
Mm-hmm.
Just go to Blockbuster. That's what Blockbuster is for.
All right. See where they at.
Why would I do this over the internet?
Mm-hmm.
They had a vision. If they ladies didn't see their vision, that made them selfish. No, I'm gonna keep going for my vision.
Right.
I'm gonna keep going for what I need to get. Because then when I reach the summit of where I need to be, we both gonna eat.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, you may think I'm selfish, but I'm gonna keep leading by action.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna tell you trash. I'm going to keep leading by action.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's gonna happen one day?
What?
You're either gonna be. Kanye said,
Mm-hmm.
when he get on, gonna leave your ex for a wife. No, he's either gonna leave,
Okay.
or he's going to appreciate the fact you were right there beside him.
Mm-hmm.
You have the option to make it an issue, or to help build with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you can do if you. Here's the greatest thing a woman or a man can do for somebody that's building something, building a legacy.
What's that?
Support them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have it all together to support somebody.
That's real.
Babe, I believe in you.
Hey, you know how far that go? You know how many people don't say that?
Ready? Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I want to say the most important words
Mm-hmm.
ever said in a relationship right now.
Go ahead.
You watching?
Drop some jewels.
You ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3. Babe, I believe in you. I support you.
Uh-huh.
Keep going, baby.
Mm-hmm. So what do most people hear? Because that's the bright side. What do most people hear?
Nigga, we broke. Why are you doing this? You're spending all your time doing this and not spending any time with me.
Uh-huh.
You aren't putting in the effort to build our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're chasing an empty dream.
Oh, man. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. An empty dream. It's not even half full. He said it's empty.
We can end this episode if I'm lying.
Dang.
If I'm lying,
That's
we can end this
hard.
episode right now.
That's hard.
If your partner
Mm-hmm.
has it figured out in their mind, they
Mm-hmm.
believe there's a dream worth chasing,
Right.
and they're chasing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you see that there's a place where you can add, and you
Mhm.
choose not to, you're the one that's selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you can add the majority of the time It's literally support.
That's real.
Support is the greatest way. We were just talking about communication.
Yeah.
Support is the greatest effective communicator of all time.
You're right.
Babe, I believe in you.
Mm-hmm. With the action.
Babe, how can I help?
Mm.
Babe,
That's.
let me pray for you.
Oh Lord, you're going too far. You're going way
Babe,
too far. You're going too far.
Babe, let me help you let me help you somewhere. Babe, let me rub your back.
Mm.
I see you're stressed out in what you're doing. Let me rub your back a little bit. Let me let you know that I got you.
Yeah.
Babe, you do what you got to do out there.
Mm-hmm.
At this house, I got us.
Yeah. That's real, man. We got Pastor Joe here this morning. He's been preaching all morning. A meme says, how do you not go back to the way you were? Say you took a break and you decided to work on your marriage, but you're trying to not keep having that little voice telling you it's not going to change, even if they're trying to change. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
You put in the work. You put in the work.
Goodness.
You know what happened for me?
Mm-hmm.
Move your chair. Joe ain't here.
Good.
You know what happened for me? I literally gave up in every possible way on my spouse.
Go ahead, man. Testimony.
To bring my relationship back together.
Mm-hmm. What did it take?
100% effort. 100% challenging communication.
Yeah.
100.
Go ahead.
110% of stop BSing myself. You know what happens?
What happens?
When you are the one that want to give up,
what?
You have to be the one that doesn't want to give up anymore. You know what happens? I'm an analogy type of person, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You ever play Street Fighter when it was out?
Speaking parables, nigga. Joe.
You know what happens when you lose? But you're so in Street Fighter you fight all the main fighters and then you fight what's the boxer dude with the terrible hairline?
I know you're talking about.
You fight the boxer dude, you fight Vega, you fight Sagat, then you fight M. Bison. Mm-hmm. Now if you're playing in the arcade edition, you know what happens? When you lose, you can put another quarter in. Mm-hmm. Now imagine you got a bunch of quarters in your pocket. Mm-hmm. You lost, but you're almost there. You are almost there. You are about to master this game. And then, even though you got the money for it, just give up. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I was about to see what happened at the end. Mm-hmm. But I'm good, bro. I'm good. Too many people do that. The people that say I'm good, that's the number for your divorce rate. Mm-hmm. The people that say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep going. You know what? It's a very tough level. Yeah. When you give up, when you are at that place, you've done everything you can. Mm-hmm. You've Hadouken the hell out of your relationship. Right. You have done every possible thing that you can do. Mm-hmm. At least that's what you feel like. The thing that you can do when you feel like you got nothing left is to keep going. Yeah. Even if you got to take a break and come back to it, keep going. If the person is worth it, keep going. If the person isn't worth it, you'll know. You'll know. There's a such thing as being a dumbass by continuously going. There is a such thing. There is a such thing as being stupid and just thinking that you can keep pushing forward. Yeah. But there's also a such thing as wisdom.
Yeah, and prudence. Go ahead, man.
You can literally know that you have the right person. And you guys are just fumbling. Every time. Every single conversation, it's a fumble. Mm-hmm. You ever have a conversation with your lady and it's a subtle, hey babe, I was thinking we would probably go out to go eat or something like that. Yeah. And maybe it turns into an argument. Something that subtle. Yeah. You're just fumbling. Mm-hmm. There is a chance where you can reset that. That's now, for some people, when separation happens, when you decide, let me get a little space here, you know what you do? You get from out of the air of that relationship, and now you can look at it from a different perspective. Now you can breathe a little bit more. And as you get a chance to breathe, Mm-hmm. Now it's 100% an option between you and your partner.
You know something? I'm just a deacon of your church today.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Talk to me. Talk to me!
Mic,
yeah, that's what we doing, man.
Me and you asked a good question. And I'm going to tell you something, man.
I'm pulling the mic out.
I'm pulling it out. I think I'm going to do that too. Yeah, it takes 100% from both sides, Brandy. Let me tell y'all something. Right. There are a lot of times, and I can personally attest to this, when you're in a relationship, not all the time, where you have to ask yourself, is the other person really the problem? See, we like to point the finger all the time, baby.
Nope, that's you.
We like to point the finger all the time.
Talk, deacon.
Is the other person really the problem? Or am I the problem? See, this comes with introspection. This comes with assessing yourself. Are they really the issue? Or am I the issue? And what I mean when I say am I the issue, when you look upon yourself, you're still in error if you're staying in a relationship that isn't benefiting you. See, it's not always, am I doing something wrong? It's, I'm wrong because I'm staying in a toxic relationship. You're just as wrong. If you know the other person is not willing to put forth the action, a la Joe Waters, you need to leave. And then sometimes you may be wrong. It ain't always the other person, man. Your communication skills may be subpar. Mine were. The way you talk to your partner, as far as encouraging them and edifying them, may be off. Because all you do is nitpick and point out the negative things that they do.
Keep going.
Do you support the other person? Because sometimes that's all a person wants and needs is support. Belief.
Talk to them.
Do you require the other person to do way too much to please you? Because it's not all about pleasing you. What do you do when things get dark? Because I always tell y'all, you don't know who you are till you face with adversity. All relationships are good the first 3-4 months. Then what happened after that, Joe?
Don't give them the truth like that.
All right, man.
Don't give them the truth. Right. See, you know the problem. They're not listening to the truth. Mm-hmm. Are they listening? You know what, Pastor? Keep going. Okay. Keep going, Deacon.
See, look. After those first few months, though, things get sticky. Because then you get to figure out, okay, this person really doesn't like this. This is a really opinionated person. Like the people up here at Wave Report, I'm going to tell y'all right now, us three, we're not easy people to deal with in relationships. I can admit. We're blunt, we're honest, we're not going to hold any punches.
Jonah might be the most blunt.
I mean, that's by far. I think that's by far.
Most, 100%.
I think that's by far. And we're not really like insecure. Everybody has insecurities, but we're not insecure men.
Right.
But most people are insecure, and they wear it on their sleeves.
Yeah.
And because we're blunt, you know what that automatically means? Our communication skills are fucked up at times.
That's a fact.
Because we say things without thinking first. I just got to get this out of my head. And then sometimes that'll cost you your wife. That'll cost you your husband. When you look inside yourself, see, we're just mere reflections of one another. I know it's too much. All right. We're just mere reflections of one another. So when you see somebody doing something wrong, or something you don't like, that reminds you of things you used to do or things that you are doing, and you don't like it. But it's how you address the person.
Keep going.
A lot of us give up way too easy in relationships, not just because of cheating and all that, but we give up because things don't go the way that we want them to go.
That's a fact.
Things ain't always gonna go the way you want it to go.
That's also a fact. Sometimes
you gotta improvise. My boy Joe just admitted he gave up. Who says I gave up and then I had to work my way back? Who says that on cam? Who says that? People don't say that. See, we live in a culture where people hide everything.
Fact.
They post good pictures, but if you knew what was going on behind the picture, though, I see it all the time.
I see it too.
I be seeing it all the time.
I've seen a girl crying.
Go ahead.
Crying.
because her and her man broke up that day.
Right.
As she was posting a picture of them.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I'm watching her type in the captions.
That's wild.
they just broke up, but their families like each other, so they can't admit it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna try to work it out. And literally, I'm listening to a conversation like, babe, we got this thing for our family coming up. We can't do this right now. I don't have to say anything else. That by itself.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, you're right. Transparency does free. Listen, if you're in a relationship and you worried about what the in-laws will think, Melinda alluded to this before. You worried about the in-laws will think, and their sister and your brother and the kids, you're thinking the wrong way. You got to renew your mind. You got to change your thinking.
Romans 12:2 applies in relationships too.
You got to change your thinking.
Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Your mind is somewhere else where it's not supposed to be.
If you're in a relationship with somebody and the most important part of your relationship is when you're away from that person.
Oh, Lord.
That's the most important part to you.
Lord.
Something needs to change in you.
Immediately.
In you, not your partner. That's not your partner's fault.
Mm-hmm.
That's you. Every relationship. See, this is something that I realized a long time ago. Every relationship is surrounded by rules that you set.
That's true.
The reason how I know this is true, I'm going to admit something right now.
Go ahead, man.
When I was younger, I used to tell women that I dated, you're not the only person I'm dating.
Lies.
No, I'm like, instead of lying about it, I would tell them up front.
Oh, so you're telling the truth. I would lie.
Listen, sweetheart. Any man would be lucky to have you.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to know, I don't think I'm built to be a one-woman man. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to give you all the energy and the time that you need, and you'll never feel anything different. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm built to be that. This is before I knew how to actually be a one-woman man. Mm-hmm. But this is the line that I would run on ladies. That line right there worked. You know why?
Why?
Because I was honest.
Mm-hmm.
I was transparent. I was telling them the truth. And you know what women like more than anything? Men too. No matter what your intentions are.
Honesty.
If you tell me what it is at the beginning, it doesn't hurt me when it happens down the road.
Right.
So when you're in a relationship, what happens is you know exactly what you want the day you walk into that relationship. But you know what you don't do? You don't have that transparency with your partner. Mm. You know that as you get comfortable with your partner, you're going to want your back rubbed. Mm-hmm. And you don't want it to turn into sex, maybe. You know that if you ask your man to rub your back, he'll probably try to slide something in.
Yeah.
But you can set that expectation from day one. Mm-hmm. Hey, babe, I just need you to rub my back. It's sensual for me, and it makes me feel good. Mm-hmm. I don't need anything else from it. I just need you to rub my back.
Yeah.
You can set that expectation from day one. Right. This is one small example. That can happen with communication. That can happen with time. That can happen with any needs that you actually have. Mm-hmm. But you know what you don't do?
What?
That. You set the expectation of what you like in a person. You set the expectations. The rules that you set are what you want from your partner, not what you want from yourself.
Okay.
Some people think it's selfish to say what you need in a relationship.
Yeah.
No, you know, the reason why I get so my wife has me. Nobody does. Period. So this is a hypothetical statement. Any statements made by myself and anybody on the wave report are at the express written consent of the NFL. No, my wife understands me. So she's got me. So what I'm about to say has nothing to do, no bearing with my relationship. But if I was single, when I was single, you know what I could do that I couldn't do when I was in my marriage, that I brought back to my marriage?
What's that?
So I set every expectation that I needed from that relationship before we even started. Mm-hmm. Yo, you know what? Hey, when I was in my relationship, I ain't really used to speak my mind all the time, so I just want you to know, I ain't gonna curse you out. I ain't gonna do none of that. But when we talk, don't ask me what's wrong. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get mad or upset when I tell you exactly what's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm very blunt. I'm not gonna filter myself because it may hurt your feelings. I need you to be able to accept this before we move forward. If you can't accept it, I don't care how good you look. This is the reason why Halle Berry is not a dime to me. I don't care how you look. I care about what you think.
Oh.
I care about what's inside.
Yeah.
Because you can be the baddest person in the world, but if we're gonna build something more than a physical relationship, I need you to not be dumb. I need you to not be to be dumb of mind. I need you to know I'm a complex individual. I am not a simple dude. I got a lot of things going, and I want somebody that can add to that.
Right.
Every person should require the exact same thing. When you get into your next relationship, if you're single right now, do not get into that relationship without setting the standards of what you need first.
Correct.
Because your partner needs to do the same.
True.
Otherwise, you're going to have a relationship that's going to look a lot like... Type in divorced relationships. Type in broken relationships. You're going to... Whatever you see on Google, that's what your relationship going to look like.
That's real. That's real. Jamie said unspoken expectations will get you nowhere. Go ahead, Joe. I'm looking in your church.
Listen.
Uh-huh.
Listen. If I need something from you and I can't verbalize it, that is literally the example of ineffective communication.
Word.
Why are you so
The
afraid?
word.
Why are you so afraid? Listen, we grown, okay? Why are you so afraid to tell your partner you need sex? Why are you so afraid to tell your partner they're not doing it right? Why are you so afraid to tell your partner the money ain't really working out?
Okay.
But why are you so afraid to take the challenge and actually say you can be better in a relationship? Why are you so willing to let other issues overshadow the things that are able to be corrected?
Well,
why are you so willing to look at what's wrong with the relationship than actually appreciating what's right?
come on, Pastor.
Why are you so, at the same time, not willing to take that appreciation of what's right and then turn that into effort to make what's wrong right? Why are you so unwilling to put 100% into your relationship?
That's a great question.
You know why you're so unwilling?
Why?
Because you're scared.
Okay, we're talking about fear now.
What if it works?
What about that part?
What about if all these fears that I have, all these insecurities, now granted, let me be clear, your partner could have put those there. You could probably never have ever had a relationship where you got cheated on. Get cheated on, work through it, and now you're like, oh, what is he doing?
Yeah.
What happens if he is doing right?
Yeah. It's very possible.
What happens if the changes that you require to be made in your relationship actually happen? What happens? Why are you so afraid to give 110%? Somebody told me a long time ago that if you do something wrong to your partner, you never get 100% back. It's a bold-faced lie. If your partner accepts you, see what forgiveness is? When Jesus forgave me, he gave me 100% back.
Talk to him, Joe. What we doing?
Forgiveness does not turn around and give you 80%. Forgiveness gives you 100%. Anybody that told you different, I can show you in scripture where forgiveness gives you 100% back. I can show you in life where forgiveness gives you 100% back. Find me a couple that's been together for 50 years. I can show you where that forgiveness got them to 50.
Have to.
I can show you the value of forgiveness. The problem is you don't forgive.
Okay.
You push aside.
It's not the same, baby. Go ahead and talk.
See, if somebody did something wrong to you, you had an argument, your man and your woman said the wrong thing. You know what the wrong thing is. He said the wrong thing to you. Spend a little bit of time away. You come back to it, and now you forgave them. You said it.
Right.
Next time you argue, it comes right up.
Dang, you ain't really forgive.
You just pushed it aside.
You just pushed it aside.
Forgiveness cleans the record.
Go ahead.
Somebody says you can forgive and not forget. Understandable. But you can also push aside and forget.
That's true.
Push aside and not forget. Forgiveness gives back 100%.
to put the cherry on top of what Joe said, always remember to forgive yourself. Ain't nobody perfect, baby. Ain't nobody perfect.
Wave report.
Joe was up here giving his testimony. He gave y'all the real scoop of his life. He didn't give y'all bits, he gave y'all the real scoop. He said he was in error. And it's very hard to forgive yourself when you know that you've done wrong.
You'd be great on the other side of forgiveness.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell y'all.
Go ahead.
See,
Wave reports church, baby.
you know what happened with forgiveness for me?
Y'all been tired. You know what I mean?
You know what? We gotta make a cash up. You know what happened on the other side of forgiveness for me?
Hold up. Hold that thought. Somebody got a question I want you to answer. What if you genuinely forgive and then they do the same thing again? Go ahead, Joe.
What is your capacity of forgiveness?
Go ahead. What's the threshold? Go ahead.
What
Joe.
is the capacity of your forgiveness? So if imagine Queen Latifah.
Okay.
Who you calling her? So what if Queen Latifah's with somebody? I'm just gonna say somebody because they get into an argument, and that person calls Queen Latifah the word she hates the most. Right. She's gone on record and said she hates this word. Time goes by, she forgives. She gives back 100%. They get into an argument again a couple months down the line. This word pops out again. Queen Latifah decides to forgive again. Gives back 110%.
Okay.
A couple more months go down the line. This word is said again. Queen Latifah forgives. No, she doesn't. Because her threshold was met.
Okay.
It is okay to know when your threshold is. To know when it's met. Right. The problem is sometimes certain things make you overlook your threshold. Yeah. Good dick should never make you overlook your threshold. Good money should never make you overlook your threshold. Stability should never make you overlook your threshold. You are the most important person in your relationship. So if you forgive somebody, know your threshold to forgive them. Know your threshold to love them. Know your threshold on where you need to be with them. Okay. Give them the word, Stop overlooking your threshold so you can be with somebody. Yeah. You are the star player of your relationship. Word to God. If you have met your threshold, leave. If ASAP. You have met your threshold, why are you still there? Because now, once you've met your threshold, the only thing you're doing from that point forward is pushing aside. A relationship where two people push aside, or one person consistently pushes aside, is not a successful relationship. Oh, not at all. Not at all, baby. Stop pushing aside. If you cannot forgive, leave. If you don't know how to forgive, learn. See, here's the problem that I get from people when they talk to me about Christianity. Go ahead. Oh, I don't believe in Jesus, or I don't, the church did me so wrong. Well, all right, stop with all that for a second. Okay. The Bible can teach you about forgiveness. As a book. Not as a religion, not as anything. Just as a book. You niggas read Harry Potter. Niggas read some kind of book in school. Hey. The Bible can teach you about forgiveness as a whole. I can show you. I can show you where it teaches you about forgiveness. But it's so hypocritical. Christians are so hypocritical. Shut up. Okay. You want to learn how to forgive? I can show you how to forgive, and let's focus only on that. Show them the way. The problem is the context of what's facts. So many people try to take all the other things and let it overlook it. Facts are facts. You can learn how to push aside and never forgive. That's real. That's real. And because I'm a deacon in hold on. Go ahead. People do not forgive too much. People forgive exactly the amount they need to, and then they push aside. There is no such thing as forgiving somebody too much, because forgiveness gives back 100%. The minute you stop giving 100%, you are pushing aside. We got a guest coming in here. Learn how to forgive. This nigga a guest on his own show. Learn how to forgive. That's 100%. But you know,
something about forgiveness, man, that I've learned over time. If you see somebody that you had an issue with 10 years ago, you haven't really forgot them. You haven't really forgave them if you're still mad at them.
Over
if
$20.
If you see somebody that you had problems with months ago, you haven't forgiven them if you're still mad at them. Because if it was really like that, you would have addressed it already.
Big fact.
You'd have addressed it already. This internet culture got everything twisted. It's like, when I see them, or when I see them, I run across them. We can meet up today.
Chunky facts.
We can
They ain't never meet up with nobody.
Oh, go ahead. So this come on now.
Come
go
on,
ahead,
man.
do your thing. You know
Welcome
what I
to
mean?
church.
You've been
Welcome to
absent.
church.
Go ahead, man.
Welcome to church. Hey, you know some black people come to church late.
Hey, the collection plate going? Nah, in this internet culture, man, ain't nobody trying to meet up with nobody. They trying to live on the internet. They don't want to actually see nobody in the flesh.
In the flesh.
You know what I mean? So there ain't no reason to really live up to their words.
Since Jonah here, we're gonna start talking about hoes.
Before we do that, holding grudges only happens when you push things aside. Forgiveness gives back 100%. If you give back 100%, that grudge isn't held. You know a perfect example of that. The father that was never there. If you learn to love your father, you stop holding back that grudge of the time he missed. If you learn to appreciate your father, you learn to appreciate him regardless of the time that he missed. It comes with context. But that's not a grudge. If you push aside the pain of your father not being there, that grudge will be evident. It's the perfect example I can give you. Because forgiveness gives back 100%.
It ain't conditional.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people want to give that conditional forgiveness.
Go ahead then. Expound.
Welcome to the Church of the Way Report.
You know, that type of forgiveness where they open to forgive. Right? So now that they feel open, they feel as though, they're taking the steps to forgiveness. And when they get around that person again, they don't allow them to really do what they do to be a part of their life again. Let's take the lost father, for example. He gets into her life. I'm assuming it's a female. This female expects him to fill all the voids, that he left from over the years in this short amount of time of, reconnecting. And she's not fulfilled when he's not acting in such a manner that she would like to fill these holes, right? Yeah. He's just being him. She's not trying to get to know him and allow herself to open up to him and start something new, because she still wants that thing that she felt she deserved growing up. So it's like a conditional thing. It's a trial. Like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can forgive you. Oh, what, you're not like what I expected. Oh, what, this don't feel me. This ain't what I thought I was missing. You know what? I hate you. You did this to me. And put every excuse, on that person for why, does X, Y, and Z.
How long did we hold resentment towards our absentee father? When did you get to the age where you were just like, I can truly let go and forgive this person? Because you put yourself, even though they weren't there, you try to understand why they weren't there. Even if they were, according to Jonah, a whole ass nigga. Because that's very real. But when did y'all, what age or what happened in your life when you were like, okay, I've held this on for too much longer. It's time for me to be free and be at peace with what's going on.
Go ahead, John.
It was early for me. My sister still holds on to some stuff right now.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, for sure. I learned early when I was doing my deep dive on forgiveness and whatnot, because I went through some stuff at an early age, and I learned that, and especially when I got into the world, I was probably 18, 19. 18 and 19, because I realized I saw how real the world was. Like it was no more fantasy. It was no more shelter of your parents. Yeah, it was you out there. You know what I'm saying? And I felt and I likened it to what maybe he went through, because he lost both his parents at an early age. Okay, he was also the youngest. So, his perspective on life was totally different. He's the youngest. He lost both parents. He out here now, you know what I'm saying? It's what do you do? He got me. My mom, had me when she was 16. You know what I'm saying? He had me. My grandparents ain't passed down no business. They ain't passed down no land. It was in Central Park.
Right.
It was in the projects. And what was he really going to do? You know what I mean? What was he really going to do without education and without a stepping stone?
Right.
You gonna get it the best you can. Go work 2-3 jobs. Feel down. Give us, him and my mom don't make it. Give some other females try to fill certain voids of his own. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a whole life. If I can step into my shoes, I can learn to, allow him to be in my life. Right. So I learned that at an early age, bro. I got into that early. I was like, oh, I get it. Life is hard, my nigga. Life is hard, my nigga. Let's try to make it together.
So you said yours early. When was yours, Joe?
I pushed aside the feelings for my father. When I was about 16, I had a meeting with him, chopped with him, and was supposed to meet up with him again. And I'll never forget this. I was on the corner selling weed. I can admit it. And he was supposed to pick me up. And I was trying to get some money so I can go hang out with him and, pay my own tab.
Yeah.
He never came. So from that day forward, I pushed aside how I felt about him. I pushed aside his absence. Didn't really realize that I didn't forgive him until the minute I held my son. When my son was first born, then I was like, how the hell could you walk away from this? I forgave him when my son, about 2 years later, was, I'll just say, in a coma. Due to some things he still deals with today. Epilepsy. It helps people. So epilepsy. My son has epilepsy. He was in a coma. We sat in the hospital, and I realized I was just holding such a grudge because at that moment, if he was there, I would have 100% been just allowed him to embrace. It didn't matter. Nothing mattered. It didn't matter. I needed just somebody to be there with me. My mom was out of state at the time, and I just needed somebody to be there. My lady had her family there, and I'm not saying I was jealous of it. I just didn't have anybody there. So at that moment, if my father was here, nothing else mattered. I would have let him in. I would have embraced him fully. He wasn't there, but the feeling I felt of I would have accepted him was the minute that I actually forgave him and gave back 100%.
Word.
I don't have any ill will towards him. I don't feel a negative way in any way, shape, or form about him. He wasn't there. Respect. I know it used to hurt. It doesn't have any damage on me at this time, period, because I understand the value of me from my son. If I meet Pops today, all right, let's build. But if I never do again, I don't harbor any resentment, grudges, or anything. Yo, you did what you had to do as a man. Bob had 6, 7, 8 kids. He did the best he could do for what he needed to do. Me and my brother were byproducts of what he did.
Right.
So I can't knock him. My brother ain't here no more, so I can't talk to my brother would have fueled it. He would have fueled it. He would have been like, yo, we need to ride on. My hatred for him came a lot from my brother. Now I have my son. My son is my angel. I need my son to be good. I'm not. If Pops can pull up tomorrow, cool. Here's Caleb. Here's your grandfather. We're gonna get it in. I don't have the capacity in my heart for that for anybody.
I understand. I think mine when I was probably, my dad was in prison when I was growing up. So when he finally got out, I tried to meet with him. I did meet with him. I tried to meet with him on numerous occasions and get some quote-unquote closure. It never really happened because things don't always play out the way that you envision them in your mind. Because in reality, it was completely different. He did admit to some of the stuff that he used to do towards my mom. He admitted that he was wrong. But, sometimes you gotta be careful what you ask for, man.
Yeah.
Because I asked for it, and I'm just like, I'm still unfulfilled for real.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that's when I first started to learn that you gotta put the past behind you. Because I went back into the past. Like, I was asking him all the questions from all the stories my mom told me about him. And he verified a lot of things. So it's like, why do I still not feel like complete? And I grew to understand that I just wasn't really ready for everything he was telling me at the time. And then, I just wasn't ready. I was young, and I was, my ego wanted to know things. But you know how your ego can be, can put you in the wrong spot.
That's a fact.
And then as I grew older, I was trying to put myself in his shoes, even though I didn't completely agree with what he was doing.
I'm listening.
I did come to find out that, like as Jonah said, like you're in the projects. My daddy come from the projects, and I grew up in the projects, Central Park and Temple Park. What can you really expect from somebody like that?
Right.
I don't even know if my dad had a real job his whole life, even till today. You can only expect so much out of somebody like that.
Yeah.
You can expect, like, even in my early 20s, with me and my wife, when we were dating, like, I would want to meet with my dad, and I would just like, let's go out to eat. We ain't never even been out to eat.
That's good.
We ain't never even been out to eat, man. We ain't spent no time aside from me pulling up on him giving me some change, and then me pulling off, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's not a relationship. And as a man, you need that. A lot of us are raised by a lot of women.
Facts.
So we understand women more than the average person, average nigga who had like his dad growing up.
Yeah.
Who's been around women. It shouldn't have to be like that though.
That's a fact.
Because there's a part of me, who knows what type of man I would be if I had a consistent father figure in my life.
Oh, I think about that often.
Go ahead.
No lie. I really do think about that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the places I've been, the things that I've seen and done,
Mm-hmm.
like how different would those experiences be if I had, a consistent father in my life?
Yeah.
It's a hellified question that we'll never have an answer to,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really something to think about.
For sure. And one thing I always do respect, and I think all of us can agree on this, I respect honesty. My dad, when I confronted him, he didn't lie. He didn't say like, I wasn't me. He wasn't like, oh, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. He ain't that type of person.
Yeah.
And I've seen my traits, because I'm not that type of person. I'd rather just put everything on Front Street. Look, I fucked up, man. But the difference between me and him is when I fuck up, I try to find a way to make it better, a resolution. He just said he fucked up, and then he just kind of went about his way. Like, I'm still here. No matter how old you get as a person, as a grown person, like as a child of somebody, that's still your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
And you need that. And I see areas where I lack as a man because I didn't have, my mama did the best job she possibly could have. Best job she possibly could have.
That's a fact.
A lot of times we revere our grandmoms and our moms and our aunts because they were there.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, it can't be in this environment that we grew up in. Very little resources, poverty, drugs, violence at every turn. Should not be women raising a bunch of crazy niggas in that type of environment.
That's a fact.
It should not be.
I mean,
Go ahead, man.
y'all visualizing this? You know what I'm saying? Like this is the world we live in.
Ain't no control.
Yeah.
It's like letting the animals run wild, man.
The thing I love about, at the same time, while it was difficult for me to forgive my father initially,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that pain was pushed to the side, or that pain was turned into appreciation for the ones that were there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not one of those people that will ever discredit the value of Mother's Day. But I understand that happens on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's mothers who aren't there. So I know how to appreciate whoever is there.
Yeah.
Fuck a Mother's Day, bro. Fuck a Mother's Day.
I ain't talking about necessarily the holiday. I'm just talking about the appreciation of of the person that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For some people, Mother's Day is the only way they know how to give that is the only way they know how to give it back.
You lame and you trash.
That's a
That's
fact.
the only you wait for that day to
That's a
show
fact.
appreciation to these mothers that's really out here holding it down and doing what they got to do more so than anybody I've ever seen, bro. Like that's an everyday thing. Every day is Mother's Day, man.
Yeah.
As a parent,
I don't give a fuck. mother's boy, whatever. Hell yeah, I am, my nigga.
Yeah.
These women going through the struggle and surviving, bro. Like that's commendable. That's admirable.
Yeah.
Like that's something I can look up to, dog.
The ones that are there, bro, you gotta learn how to appreciate them more. And that is never anything wrong with saying like, yo, you're not where you should be. Netflix has this movie right now called Otherhood. Watch it. I bet money you call your mom immediately right after it. I talked to my mom the day before. I watched the movie and I was like, dang, I don't appreciate my mama enough.
Yeah.
Like there's appreciation for the ones that are there has to all it can grow. But forgiveness for the ones that aren't, you gotta know when you're putting things aside and you gotta know when you actually forgave them. It's a difference. It really is a difference, yo.
And you know, sometimes what you're saying, you're talking about like parents, mothers, and fathers. Sometimes the person, when you talk about forgiveness, the person don't always have to be in front of you for you to forgive them. I can forgive you in peace, man.
Talk.
In my prayers at night, I can forgive you, man, and not have to deal with you ever again. Because sometimes you always feel like, because us three up here, we're confrontational. So I want to see you in the flesh so I can tell you. But sometimes that's not always the best course of action. Sometimes you just got to forgive the person and move on.
Yeah.
Because if you let somebody occupy a space in your mind for a long period of time, it'll consume you, man.
That's a fact.
I was so consumed with my dad did this, my dad did this, my dad, and I'm like, I'm walking around with that. I'm messing with women, but I'm thinking of that in my mind. And then, you know, what you think in your mind, you become.
Right.
So I'm like reenacting what my dad did in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. My dad was, I think I only sold drugs because my dad was a hustler. He was about getting the money. If it wasn't about the money, it didn't matter. I used to think, honestly, sometimes he would pull up in the little Benz and be like, oh, I'm proud of you. And he never pulled up. But I think I chased money because he chased money. I chased women because he chased money. Like, I think I did things.
Why all of our moms say the same thing? I don't want you to be like your daddy.
Because I think women, just like men, can see the error in somebody. You know how you see the image that people want you to see, and then when you see how they really are, a lot of times it's different. A lot of niggas really try to show you, hey babe, the nigga that I'm gonna give you the world, nigga. That ain't how he really is. The dude who's smooth and suave, and you find out he lived with his mama and he ain't got no money, but he look good when you see him. He or she, when you see him the first time. The chick who's got 4 million followers on Instagram but still lives with a roommate, and their bed don't even have a bed spring.
It's real.
She go on vacation with old niggas.
Facts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm saying people put up an image of what they want you to see.
Oh yeah.
And there's wisdom. Wisdom is always found in hurt. So women get hurt by what they've seen, and then they realize and come to the conclusion, and men the same. I don't want this to be involved. I don't want my kid to be involved with that. Women get hurt, and then they don't want you to be the person that replicates that process.
Yeah.
Men get hurt, and then they don't want, bro. I commend fathers of daughters because they've had to go through so much and see things in women that they have to now train their daughter to be different than that.
What that's like?
What that's Talk to me, bro.
Oh Lord, no, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. I saw your comment, Mimi. I vehemently disagree with your breakdown on how that happens, because it happens at a human level. You know, man and woman gets together, man and woman lacks communication, man or woman walks out. Whoever walks out becomes automatically the villain. You know, now the reasons don't matter. That person walked out, so that's all we remember. So no, I definitely disagree with what you said, but I also understand what you said because it happens.
Yeah.
But on the human level, because I'm that dude who preaches men and women doesn't have that many differences.
Okay.
And if the internet has taught us anything, that should be true. These women more savage than y'all niggas out there. You know what I'm saying? And for the longest, we thought they like unicorns, rainbow, and everything.
Yeah, we did.
So
We did.
Truth of the matter is, man and woman breaks up. Woman has, woman and man they have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
He has to look at it, raising his daughter in the perspective of, I don't want you to necessarily take on my bad characteristics.
Right.
Nor do I want you to take on your mom's personality as well. Because I see her flaws as well as I see mine. And I see where we messed up and why we didn't make it work. Mm-hmm. And why, we are in certain positions that we in. Mm-hmm. Is because of these traits. And these are the traits that I don't want to embed in you. Mm-hmm. We got to look at it from that perspective when, we got kids in general, but like especially with a daughter, because, women are definitely the gatekeepers to new life. Mm-hmm. So it's difficult to really like stay focused in that. You know what I mean? Because like you still enduring life yourself. You know what I mean? Even as a parent. You know what I mean? So to try to instill the right things into your child and also avoid new potential pitfalls as you continue to grow. Mm-hmm. It's a difficult thing, but it's a thing that has to be done, and it has to be done consciously. Mm-hmm. You got to know exactly what you're doing.
That's a fact.
We were talking about, before you got here, we were talking about forgiveness and how it's easy to place the blame on somebody else. It's easy to even say, I forgive somebody else. But how hard is it to forgive yourself for things you've done?
That's been the hardest for me personally because of my personality. Like I'm already hard on myself. Just with everything. Mm-hmm. I'm my toughest critic when it comes to things that I do. Nobody can ever be harder on me than I am on myself. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to forgiving myself, I think about like how stupid, whatever the situation may have been, and I did something stupid, and I'd be like, God, I did that? Mm-hmm. But that was dumb as fuck. Boy, you stupid. What, God, you really though? Like, you gonna, come on, man. And then don't let me fuck around and do the same thing again. It's that much harder. Now I'm starting to think, am I just this type of person?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that stems from not forgiving yourself. Because no, a lot of times we are not this person that we continuously portray.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We just haven't forgiven ourselves. Or dug deep enough to stop that cycle.
We in church today. Keep on.
I'm high, bro.
Of course, per the usual.
What did we say at the beginning of the episode?
Jonah's going to come in here.
Jonah's going to come in high.
He's going to come in here high.
We told the audience already. They knew.
What other topics we got, man? We've been on the road this morning.
Listen.
I was here like 45 minutes too, by the way. Me and Real. Hey, shout out to Real, 211. Mm-hmm.
Nah, you know what it is, man? Like, so it's easy to talk about things, and not put action behind it.
Right.
It's easy to put things aside and not actually forgive people. Mm-hmm. Is it easy to build? How difficult is it to be yourself around? How long does it take for you to be yourself around your woman? Like, how long did it take for you to truly, like, find I'm just going to be me, and you're just going to have to accept it?
That's a good question. Immediately. So, but my wife wasn't receptive to it at first.
Okay.
That's going along with my theory. Keep talking about it. I'm building something right now, man.
She wasn't receptive to it at first because of the type of nigga she had dealt with prior to. And what I mean is, not only am I honest about things, but if I'm in error, I apologize. My wife is not used to that. Most women aren't used to that. They're used to getting blamed for everything, even if they're doing everything right.
Okay.
But me, I'm a fair person. If I take the blame, and I know I've taken the blame, and I see you're not taking the blame, I used to attack women. I'm talking about attack beyond, like, I'm assertive. So like, okay, if we come to a position where both of us are wrong, right? Because, Brandy, you're right. Relationship is both people's fault. But it's both people's fault, but more than likely only one person admits what was really going on. And when you address somebody, this is the worst thing for me, dealing with my personality. When I address somebody, I'm addressing you outside of, like, the showy stuff. Your job, your finances, your car, what you portray. I'm talking about you, the person. I'm addressing like your character defects. My wife wasn't receptive to how I was because she never encountered somebody who not only took the blame for stuff they did, but I'm also going to show you what you're doing wrong. It can't always be me in no situation. So when you're yourself, sometimes people are envious of that. People in relationships with you, they're envious of that. How can this person just be so, like, they're just so unhinged. They don't care. And they're happy with who they are. How can they be like this? I don't live in a fictitious world.
Right.
I deal with reality on a daily basis.
Right.
I've never known, you can ask anybody I know, I've never known, if I was catching the bus, I'm not talking about I was in the whip somewhere.
Right.
I'm on the bus. I'm scraping up change, I'm on the bus.
You ain't out here riding
Bus,
with the
bus
big
to
bag.
bus, nigga.
Right. Come on now.
You know, if I'm working a job and I don't have no money, I have no problem saying I don't have no money. Hey, my nigga, I can't go, I don't have any money. Nigga. I don't want you to pay for me because you're gonna throw it in my face.
Know yourself.
You know what I mean?
My
wife wasn't used to that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's used to niggas fronting, as most women are. And then this culture don't help because everybody's fronting.
Facts.
So like it didn't take me that long to be myself because I seen where me trying to conform to be with somebody got me. It didn't get me nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So let me try to front a little bit. Let me try to stunt and be somebody that I'm not. It only get you far. It may get you some vagina, but she not gonna respect you.
Right.
She gonna find you're a fraud.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, next woman I'm with, which is my wife at the time, like I'm just gonna be straight up and down. And as we stand today, that has definitely benefited me. My wife, I wouldn't say she's like 100% accepted it. There's still some things she just be like, this nigga here. But I think that's always and forever. But I think she's grown, and I've also grown. I can say I've also grown to accept her for who she is. And sometimes we forget that when you're in a relationship, you have to let the person be who they are. That's the person you fell in love with.
Right.
You can't be mad years down the line. That's who they are.
That's a big thing. I think a lot of women don't believe some men when the men show them who they are early.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women don't believe it immediately.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they go on this journey of him trying to prove this shit and her not believing it and treat him a certain way, not fully accepting who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Got her tripping on a certain level where she can't even show who she is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, with this honesty thing, bro, like when you can ask Britt, you can even ask the ex-wife, bro. Like, it's one thing that nobody can ever say about me. You can never say I wasn't honest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show you that in the beginning.
Same.
So I can't front for a female. I can't stunt for a female. I can't do none of these things that give a lot of these new females. I don't know where the hell these women came from, but these things give them that warm and fuzzy for some weird reason. And honesty doesn't. I'm gonna rub you wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like immediately, you gonna think something's off about this dude. He is too nice. He too honest. You know what I'm saying? And they could go make bad decisions 5 kids later when they try to hit you up and shit. Got me fucked up.
Joe, how long it took you?
You know, immediately, baby, immediately.
And was your wife receptive to it at first? Was Britt receptive to it at first?
Somewhat. It's kind of like the same thing with your wife, man. She's not really. I don't think she fully believed me yet. Like, I think I'd be wilding.
I ain't even gonna hold you. It was immediate. I told her before our first date. Told her I'm a drug dealer that loves God. As weird as that sounds, even coming out of my mouth.
Than that.
I was honest with myself. So hey, look, I like rapping. I sell weed, and quite frankly, lost a brother of mine, and I only met you in this church because I'm really just trying to find my way. With a straight face, she told me I'm greater than that. First woman to ever challenge me. First woman to ever tell me you're greater than just being a drug dealer and whatever else it is you feel like you are. You're greater than that. And as I kept showing her me, kept showing her who I am, kept showing her who I am as a person, there were a lot of things that weren't addressed. That was my fault. They say you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You can't turn a hoe into a married nigga. without dealing with the nigga holdings. You know what I mean? You know,
this nigga wild.
Drea was wrong. You cannot delete your holdings. No, I just had some surface issues that I never dealt with. I never even took the time to talk about. I got into a relationship and then tried to learn how to do it, as opposed to taking my time to figure those things out as like before.
Right.
I didn't have that opportunity. Like, I was fresh. I was like, yo, let's get into it. All right, let's go.
Hey, bro. As a man, how would this make you feel? Like, you, let's say, you met someone else. I mean, we know we live in reality.
Right.
Yeah.
In this other
hypothetical, way before world.
Yeah. You meet someone else. What if they already accepted to where you at on that level? Like, hi, I'm Joe, I'm a hoe. Like, what if they willing to ride through you, you know what I'm saying, through you sorting that out?
Well, see, that was the reason why. So, for me, like I told him before he came in, I set the expectation for every relationship I was in, and I told them from the jump, listen, I'm not a one-woman person. We can be everything that you want us to be. I'm not a one-woman person. That's just my nature. I've grown. My high school relationship, I had 2 girlfriends. It was a very known fact. I had 2 girlfriends who knew about each other and they were cool with it. Ever since then, you can't tell me nothing.
Exactly.
So, this is freshman year, by the way. Freshman with 2 girlfriends. It was a fun time. Anyway, you couldn't tell me anything. I thought I had everything figured out. So, for me, a relationship was just a gradual expectation of that. I'm going to keep doing it that way, whatever. If a woman wanted to meet me right there, they were cool with that. I didn't respect them. They didn't challenge me.
Okay.
There was no woman that I ever met before my wife that challenged me, that said, no, I believe that you're better than that. They would say, well, I don't agree with it, and I'll just move on. But never would get me to the point where you had my interest, you had my eye, and, okay, you're going to challenge me. All right. I've never been challenged. The reason why I actually prefer math as my favorite subject is because my teacher was the first person to challenge me. I got in this class and I said, I punch you in your mouth. He put $400 on the table and said, I dare you to.
Now, Joe, let me ask you this.
What I'm saying is I'm better when you challenge me.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. I wouldn't disagree with that like that. I think it should make anybody better. How do you feel about a female? If you present these things to a female, like who you are, hi, I'm Joe, I got hoes. I'm trying to word this correctly. Are you saying that you couldn't respect a female that is willing to like stick through that and be there for you while you go through that whole thing? Or are you more respectful to the female that said, oh no, fuck this nigga, you doing too much, dip out? Like, does that woman has more value?
That's a good question.
So does that woman have more value then?
At the place that I was at my life at that time. So when I had just turned 18, that summer, I was good. I was whatever. I didn't care. Because I didn't think about long-term relationships. I was just trying to smash a few times and let's just keep it moving. That was me. That was my whole intent. I never met somebody. So the woman who would have met me where I was at that age, cool. I only expect the life expectancy of our relationship to be less than 6 months.
And why is that? That's what I'm trying to dive into.
Because I had no desire for a long-term relationship.
Okay.
I was very honest with what I wanted, and I knew that the flame on having a partner whose focus is with somebody else as well, that's only gonna last for so long. I knew that. That's why I structured my relationships that way, because I had to get out cards. I did that on purpose because I knew I didn't want to be together long term. I respected the one that challenged me and said, no, it's gonna be one, and you're gonna I believe that you're better than that challenge,
so
that
this,
push.
So this is the
gave me greater
Lala
appreciation.
Grabbed you, basically, is what Lala grabbed you. She said, "Hold on, bro."
She grabbed. She had my eye, and I was one of those people who I didn't really care how cute a chick was because I was at that age. It was about the box for me. So like I didn't really care how cute a chick was, like because I could pull them in. I knew me. I knew my game. But she was the first person to like. Her words grabbed me. Her style grabbed me. She was different, and quite frankly, that expectation that she put on me. A woman at her best should always challenge a man in some way, shape, or form. A man at his best should challenge his woman in some way, shape, or form. She just happened to challenge me at the one spot that I didn't think I needed, which I appreciated and still do. At some point, Britt challenged you in some way, shape, or form. Whether it was your commitment, whether it was your maturity, whether it was anything, something Britt did that made you say, you know what? She could be more than just a homie. Same thing with your wife.
Actually, no.
She never challenged you in any way?
No, my decision wasn't based on a challenge. It wasn't based on it was based on agreements.
What you mean?
We agreed. We both looking for the same things. We were trying to go to the same place.
Okay.
And we agreed that we can do it together. It wasn't for me like, oh, because let's keep it 100, our dynamic is different. I've traveled the world. She hasn't. I traveled at a young age. She hasn't. She didn't get out, out of Tampa into adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Our experience is different. Our lenses is different. There isn't too much on the world view that she could teach me, but what she could teach me, and what she could help out with, and fortify me with, was stuff on the ground floor, like dedication. You know what I'm saying?
What are some, speak of, piggyback on what you're saying, you can keep going.
Yeah.
No. What are different ways that women can support guys? Because a lot of times women think we're like Thor or Superman. Like we just have to be doing everything, and the moment we slip up, they're gonna crucify us. Like we can't make mistakes. From just a male perspective, what are some different ways that y'all have seen or that men have told y'all that they need support in these different areas? As you just mentioned, dedication. What are some other ways of support? Outside of like the obvious, like financial and stuff like that.
Yeah, I came into it like that because I had got out of prior marriage, and I had my eyes set on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Like immediately, I wasn't looking for nobody to give me a mass test. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. I didn't need the test. I was putting them to the test. That's where I was.
Okay.
So, when I found someone who checked boxes, then I became receptive of, joining forces and taking over the motherfucking work. You know what I mean? In that relationship. So, for me, man, I think a lot of times it's different strokes. You know what I'm saying? Just different situations for everybody. But got to be honest at the ground floor about, as a man, what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? What you were actually looking for. And, if you're on the other side of the fence, what can challenge you because you focus on, another thing that has your attention. You just gotta be honest with where you at, more so than anything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. For me, like I said, I didn't need. I can be blunt. I didn't need support. I didn't care for it. I didn't need anybody to. My view of women at that age, don't put my hands on them, and they got a box. It's very shallow. It's all I had known. When I was growing up, I knew how to make a woman laugh. I knew all the things that a man was supposed to do. I didn't really care.
Right.
I was running and gunning. At that age for me. So, and I had that intention on doing that. Shoot, and I never met my lady, probably still be doing it today. I just didn't care. And the challenge for me was the first time somebody actually made me care about the person I was with. I can actively say, Never a female I ever was with that I cared about. I hit him with the fake love. I love you. She ain't know that. I told the shorty I didn't know what that meant. Mm-hmm. She got pregnant, was about to have my kid, and she ultimately had an abortion because she said she didn't want to have a kid with somebody who didn't really love her. Because I told her to her face, I don't know what love is. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you that because that's what 16-year-olds do. Yeah. I didn't know.
It's honest. Very much so.
I said it because I told her, the first time I ever told a girl I love her, I told her this at what was the joint called? A fair. It was a county fair. It was in VA. I told her this because my man was right next to me and he told his girl that at the same time.
I understand.
Damn. And I was like, you know pressure. What? Let me just go ahead and show you I love you. I said it and felt nothing.
Nah, y'all just
and then we decided to leave, and then we dipped, and I smashed. And she got pregnant.
Before we open this up to open the floor for questions, because I know y'all got some questions, because we've been up here giving y'all some pain for a long time. Hypothetically, once again, we're in another world. Right now, if you were single, what would you be focused on? Would you be looking for, all around, would you be looking to date? Would you be looking to get married? Would you just be focused on your career? Would you be open to marriage or open to dating? Well, if you weren't married, what would you be doing right now?
There would be no third marriage for me.
Ever again?
No, there would be no third.
Ever?
I'm single. I'm pardoning this motherfucker.
And people forget though, he ain't never get married.
I'm pardoning.
He ain't never get married.
If I'll just say this: if my lady and I had not gotten back together, my focus would be the exact same focus as it is with her, because I finally figured out myself. Mm-hmm. If I wasn't with her, I'd still be working, trying to build a wave report, trying to build my career in battle rap, trying to build a brand. Now, I will say I probably would be further along in one aspect of it, my photography career, but other than that, nah, I would still be working mad extra jobs. I would still be grinding to get those goals that I set, because that was something that I said I'm not going to let a relationship define or slow down. However, if this marriage doesn't work,
never again?
There would be no remarriage for me.
Look where the world going, man.
Oh, it's fucked up. Oh, no.
What's going to be available?
It's fucked up.
No.
You don't know who you talking to. You know who you talking to.
I'm at a different. That ain't the crutch. I'm at a different wavelength.
That ain't the crutch, but that's an element.
I'm at a different wavelength with it. I've shared life with the only woman I can say I truly loved. I don't know if I want to do that again with somebody else. Because I'm always going to be comparing. I'm always going to be like, well, this is so much different than when I don't want to do that. Because then you remind me.
You have to do some healing.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know that could ever happen. For me, I know for a fact I'm in it to win it with what I have. I'm not even looking in that outlook. But if I was not with her, I can guarantee you 2 things would happen. I would never get remarried again. Period. And I would probably have
with a T behind it.
I would probably have a lot of random child support out there. Because I want to have another kid.
No, I think I'm done.
You think you're done?
What about you, Tay? I'm interested.
You know me, I'm tender.
Time out. Hold on. Let me put a bow on that. No, let me put a bow on that. I'm happy I'm with Will. I'm happy I got the one I got. Simply put, if we break up, nigga, we done. I'm done. I'm out the game.
And you just said it, love myself. I'm gonna love the fuck out of myself. If I'm dolo,
ride a new wave report.
I'm gonna be cuddling like a motherfucker dolo.
Gang.
I love some me. Me. How you doing, man?
Alright, say it's on you.
I'm tender. I'm sensitive to the touch.
What, you gonna be on?
Oh yeah, I was about to say, which Tinder are you talking about? Your profile gonna say.
Hey, me, man.
I smoke cigars
If
and don't
me
use
and my
condoms.
wife, if something happened to us, yeah, I know, right? Something happened to us, man, or like something tragic happened to my wife. I'm not gonna close it off and say I'll never get married again, but a lot of the things in my marriage, because it comes with compromise, it'll be hard for me to compromise again. Because see, people who are not married and they never been married, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know what goes into it. It takes so much out of you. It's really taxing. It's really taxing, man. Especially like to live with somebody and see them at their worst and at their best every day. Yeah. And then you have to maintain your own sanity. I don't know if especially if the way we get the bag. I don't know if I want to put myself, because then I don't know who I can trust.
Right.
You know what I mean? They might have been a boy when they were 16. I don't know. They're not gonna tell you. That's what's going on out here, Joe.
Wait, what?
They might have been a boy at 16. Now when they 32 or 31,
how did we
they'll find a woman.
What?
I'm just saying, as the world turns, it's real. I swear to God, it's real.
What?
I swear to God.
Wait.
It's
what?
I swear to God.
How?
It's real.
How did
I swear you don't know.
It might have been a boy.
Yeah, it might have been a boy at 16.
And when you said it,
A nigga you went to high school with.
Though.
A nigga you went to high school with.
That's
You a fine woman now. You don't know. You out here dating.
God.
You don't know. And what they gonna do when the relationship, they always tell you when relationship get good, oh, y'all got something to tell you.
Oh, no.
I used to be a boy.
Wait, so you smashed already, but you didn't know you was smashing the fake? You was smashing the pocket, the permanent pocket. You was smashing in the permanent hot pocket, and then she tell you after.
Scroll them turns box.
After you got some head.
You was smashing the rubber
After you
pocket.
got some head from him.
Oh.
It's a woman now. It's really a dude. You don't know who you dating.
Oh.
You don't know what's going on.
Stop the madness.
With that said, I'd like to say I love my wife.
Stop the madness.
You don't know who you talking to, man. It'll be hard for me though, man. Not only because the person I gave everything to will be gone out of my life, but the landscape is different out here now, man. The landscape is different. I'm from the era I go up to you in person and holler at you. Because my wordplay, pun intended. My wordplay is nice. Like doing this DM thing a lot, and then everybody snitch. I be scrolling my timeline and be like, well, I'm about to expose some of these niggas in my DM. I'm like, I can imagine being single. Because if you find, I'm gonna try to holler. But you might have been a boy, and we don't know. I'm like, really? You don't know though.
I'm sorry, bro.
You'll be trying to give me nightmares, man.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know.
I don't think I've ever had that.
I don't want that to happen.
Like, if you look 1% suspect, I pass.
I don't want that to happen.
Y'all get into an argument and her voice started sounding like a dude. Started sounding like Pac in there.
Listen, man. I'm gonna put it like this.
Go ahead, man.
A part of the dating process is gonna have to be checking hormonal levels.
You got to though. They taking shots and everything. I'm for real. I work with people like that.
So if you watched the wave report the last few weeks, basically we need you to get a drug test, make sure you ain't got AIDS, and we need you to check your hormonal levels. Make sure you ain't out here going crazy.
I don't know who's doing what, man. It'll be hard for me to get like, I don't even know, like a dating scene. I might just start having sex with people.
Wait.
A dating scene?
Wait.
Something happened with my wife.
You just gonna walk up and be like, hey, I wanna have sex.
Bro, I mean, what's the point? I'm not finna.
You know that actually works.
That works.
That's what I'm saying. If you're an honest person, y'all niggas be lying.
I got
Go ahead.
I got a coworker who that's all he tells me that's his game. You just walk up and be like, listen, I can give you all this crazy games. I just want to buy you a few drinks and see if we can go home and have
That's it.
I literally
else
seen
to it.
a dude walk up to a female at the bar, asking what she doing later. And we at the bar. What other later is it?
This is as late as it gets.
So what he's talking about.
Already. I'm not trying to be with you. You got a man. I got nothing to do with me. What are we doing?
That's crazy.
What are we doing?
Listen,
Y'all got some questions? Drop the questions.
No, that's a fact.
Dating scene sucks, Amy. Where Amy stay?
Amy in Utah. Amy's in Utah. Amy, you should come to Florida. She got to come to Florida. And
Amy said she coming to the show on the 21st.
So she got to come to Florida. And then when she come to Florida, what's going to happen is we're going to hook her up with all the Israel music fans. Because he got a lot of dudes they're single. So we're going to hook her up with those fans, and then we're going to get Amy set up. We're going to lock her in.
Dating scene sucks.
Go get you a boo thing, Amy.
Facts. You know what it is, though? The one thing about us at the Wave Report, as we build, first and foremost, we thank everybody that's been watching this episode for 2 hours now. So we appreciate you. It actually seems like when you guys, survey is saying that when you guys watch, we think it's a long episode, but y'all watch it all the way through. So we appreciate it. When we do these, we do this because it's us giving love back to y'all. So we appreciate all of y'all for watching the Wave Report, tuning into the Wave Report. But the biggest thing that we need y'all to do is tell a friend. Like, go out there, subscribe to our YouTube page, and share that YouTube link in somebody's DM. DM somebody, we can set you up with a match. DM our YouTube to some people. Share it and tag some friends for a couple of people. We want to, as the Wave Report keeps growing, we want y'all to grow with us. So,
dating service.
Facts. You know what? We might start doing Wave Report dating episodes.
Like one day we have a big show, we're just like, you single, you go out.
Yo, what if that's a
we'll sponsor it. We'll sponsor it.
What if we do a round table date edition, bro?
We could do that. Single people.
Like speed dating.
Dating, the Wave Report edition, bro. And then we ask the questions.
We had all new dimensions.
Your favorite podcast don't do. Oh, we your favorite podcast.
Yeah,
I get it. Your other podcasts don't do that.
Yeah,
that's what we do over here. The Wave Report dating roundtable coming soon.
We won't go into details off of air because I got some that shit just ideal.
Go ahead, man.
Facts.
It's the idealist right here.
Plus, I gotta stop talking because I got a music video coming like that.
Hey, but listen, you've been tuning into the Wave Report. My name is Joe Waters, a.k.a.
It's Tremonte, yours truly, Dark Matter affiliate, baby. We got YJ.
Young One Jonah on everything.
Hey,
that video hard. You and Petey.
Hard. Good.
Hey, Petey killed that hook.
Yeah, he did.
He
did.
So,
subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Facts. Just want to let y'all know we got Wave Report merch coming next week. Next time y'all see us, you might see the I'm Above Average Wave Report shirt. We got some shirts coming for you. So got a new logo coming up for you guys very soon. We got some new things. We're going to be expanding on the YouTube page very soon. What else are we going to be doing?
Speaking of above average, that's another thing about getting on a dating scene with somebody with me and my wife. I'm subpar in the bedroom, so I don't know who's going to accept me. I don't know who's going to accept me because my stroke game ain't where it needs to be right now. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know who's going to accept me, man.
You got a comfortable stroke game now? His stroke game is.
You got to find somebody.
I got to find somebody who's receptive.
Because they like to get down out here right now.
Yeah, man. And I ain't got that. Oh man! Hey, Wave Report.
Oh shit!
Oh man!
Shout out to the guys who don't like massive, ridiculous, giant dogs.
Yeah, man. I know what to do with mine, though. You know what I mean? I know what to do with mine. I find other ways to compensate for the lack thereof. You know what I mean?
What you talking about, Tim?
Man, I'm just talking, man. Mind me, man.
That's what Tay don't use condoms out here. Right?
I mean, you already know how that go.
Tay don't use condoms out here.
My lifestyle is different. You know what I mean? My lifestyle is different.
Young and dirty merch.
Yeah.
I had these bandanas and shit, man.
Oh yeah, bandana's hard.
I'm about to start selling weed, man.
Young and dirty weed strings.
Hey, we are darkmatter.com. We are RKMTTR.com. We got blogs, we got music, we got merchandise, we got high level lyricism, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, man.
Therapy shops coming back up very soon.
Mm-hmm.
We took it down for a reason. There was some innovative things I wanted to do. The fall collection is coming up very soon.
Yeah.
Got as many hoodies as you can think of. All for this guy right here. He's gonna be the hoodie. We have an official hoodie sponsor.
Oh yeah, Meek. I got a bunch of hoodies.
Nah. He's literally like, I'm not even. There are so.
I pulled up one time. Joe was like, "Bro, how many hoodies do you have?"
No, you don't understand. There, with this fall collection that y'all about to see, it's not what you got last season. It's not just gonna say therapy on it. It's a little bit more to it. And Tremonte will be rocking all of them.
Of course.
Of course. He is literally the sponsor. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'm Joe Waters, signing off for Young One Jonah and for Tremonte. Thank you for watching the Wave Report.
Peace.